Welcome everybody, we've finally arrived. We've gotten to the last week of school, but not only is it the last week of school, we celebrate the start of the season of love, peace, joy and hope. It's the season of Advent, where we wait for the coming of the birth of our Saviour, Jesus Christ. Think of all the themes we've talked about this year. Let's look up here on the wall. Fidelity, compassion, integrity, perseverance, all those things have driven us throughout this year to be the best that we can be, the best version of ourselves this year to arrive at this point. And the whole theme for this year, First Light, asking us to understand what is the Spirit revealing inside of us. What is the Spirit revealing? It's that little feeling we get in our lives where we're like, oh, I think I'm going to try that. Or I think I'm going to have a go at that. Or, whoa, this makes me feel happy or joyful. Whatever those moments are this year, you felt a stirring. And that's first light, it appearing not just on your eyes and your sight, but here in your heart. It's like a burst of light. And that's occurred to us in many circumstances throughout this year. And I encourage us in the last week to continue bringing those themes into our hearts so we can keep contributing to St. Joseph's Hamper Christmas Appeal. Now it's this time of year, I know it's only a week, but I encourage you, let's change our prayer cloths to purple. Let's get out the Advent wreath, maybe out of the cupboard in homeroom or in our class. And let's look at the 4 candles for Advent wreaths. Maybe light one of them this week during our prayer sessions. It's at this time of year where everyone gets a bit silly and shopping goes a bit crazy and the Black Friday sales have just happened. I got myself some cheap shoes coming hopefully on about December 20th for myself. Not cheap shoes, good shoes, but just a bit cheaper than normal. We looked at this season and what do we ask for? What do we hope for? What do we look for? We look for joy and peace and happiness and all these sorts of things we see that are a part of what this Christmas season eventually, still in Advent, Christmas season eventually brings. The idea of happiness in families, happiness maybe for the poor, happiness for the homeless, or happiness for those people who do it rough. And we know that people do it rough in all sorts of circumstances. And who are we to thank for that? Well, we don't give the guy enough credit. This idea of welcoming the coming of the Saviour, the King of Kings, the Prince of Peace, the suffering servant, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. His plan to be in our lives whether we know it or like it or not. Christ is the ultimate answer for both our troubles, our questions, and the way we are to give thanks in the world. Boys and girls, and adults listening to this, I wish you a joyful and hopeful and peaceful Christmas. And I remember when I was probably about 8 or 9 and got to the point where I realised people celebrate Christmas and lots of them don't even know it's because of Jesus, because of the spirit of love he brought when he was born, that spirit of hope. Guys, we're always looking for hope in our lives. That something will be good or that something will be better. And it's this time of year we give thanks that Jesus Christ's birth is the answer to the beginning of those types of hopes in our life. Stay true to our themes for the last week of school this year. Have an awesome week and have a wonderful, beautiful Christmas. And think on your hearts that Christ is born for us, with us, for us. Take care, guys.